minister of music of the Life Changing Christian Center in White Plains, Maryland. He also has his own production company called Potter Wheels Productions LLC. But what I would like to say about Andre Jones, and many people can agree with me, is that he is always willing to help anybody in need. Somebody of his caliber most of the time would be sitting in the back just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. But Andre is one of the ones I have seen to step up to the plate and help people that he don't even know. And so I just want to give him kudos for that, and God has blessed him because of that. It's the humble that shall be exalted and nobody else. So Andre, welcome to the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, man.
I see you got that Eagles jacket on. We're going to talk about that a little later. But
only those that are in the playoffs can talk.
In the play, that's true. That's true. Your pastor of Life Changing Christian Center is Bishop Jason Brownlee.
Yes, sir.
Powerful man of God. I know he is.
Powerful man of God, and he's also a musician. So.
Is that right?
Yes.
You hear him talk about music often?
Sometimes, like he always like he gets on the organ from time to time, and he like schools me a little bit.
Is that right? Oh wow! So tell me, man. I mean, I met you when you were, I think late teens or whatever. Yeah. But how did you get started in this?
Pretty much, man. I've always had a passion for music. Like, even growing up as a baby, like I just used to bang on stuff around the house. Pots and pans. I had my little tin can drum set.
Mm-hmm.
I used to take like silverware and bang on it. And from that point, and then I got fascinated with the piano. So it started when I was pretty much 3 years old. Like, we used to always go to North Carolina for our family reunion, and we would go to my aunt's house, and she had an upright piano. And from that time, I used to just bang on it and bang on it. And my parents, you know how parents are when you, my bad. So when you have kids, you can tell them not to do stuff. So I didn't listen. So I just kept banging, and my aunt kind of influenced it. She was telling my parents to let me do it,
yeah,
because I might actually learn how to play it one day, and become something, which has happened. So from that point, I've always just played, and I just always listen to gospel music. I just always playing. I like practicing every day, even till now. Even now, I practice every day. I listen to different music, and and I just got started out that way, and somebody that knows somebody told them about me. Then Reston Jackson, Reston Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely.
The infamous Reston Jackson.
Reston. Good guy.
He called me when I was 13 to play his live recording. That was my first session.
Wow.
Nervous as Jacks. I can't even lie. So from that point, after that, I started playing for a group called Set Apart. So pretty much, I got to give kudos to Van Shine, because Van Shine was involved with all of this. He put my name out there to get to Jimmy Russell. From Jimmy, it just started opening different doors,
Yeah.
And all that.
Well, look, that kind of parlays into my next question. How did you get hooked up with Jimmy Russell, and who were the other musical influences, concerning the early years?
So the early years, of course, Jimmy Russell, and Because of Christ, Jimmy Russell is a pinnacle of DC.
Absolutely.
He knows everybody.
He does.
Everybody knows him. Not even just in DC, outside of DC. GMWA, Jimmy is a GMWA baby for real.
Absolutely.
So Jimmy has pretty much has put my name in other artists' ears when they need help. Mike McCoy, yourself included. Kendall King. It's a lot to name. I really can't even name them all. But from that point, I just like to. Not even just about helping people. I just like to play.
Right.
I just like to play.
That's good.
So when I'm called for opportunities, especially when I get to play with a band situation, when I get called for different opportunities, I look at it like this: if I'm not doing anything, why not?
Right.
And it's not always about the money, but at the same token, you never let anybody take advantage of you.
Right. So let's talk music. I mean, I'm just going to ask you some things that I know, only musicians really care about. What's your go-to keyboard at this point?
Keyboard?
Yeah.
Personally, I am a Nord guy.
Is that right?
I love the Nord. People think it's just because of the piano sound, but being on tour in Italy for last month, I was in Italy, and I actually got to explore the board, because one show I only had a Nord. Usually I would have a Nord and a motif, so I could stack and do all this and do all that. But I had a Nord, and what many people don't know about the Nord is not just the piano sounds in the board. It has synth sounds, it has string sounds, and it has different ways you can tweak everything. You can make a Nord, and it has that organ side. And you can actually make it sound like a B3.
So hopefully Noah will hear this so they can give him
I mean, please,
sponsor
please.
Andre Jones.
Please.
I'm a Yamaha guy. You know, I still like the Yamaha with the 4 patches on it. When it starts getting past 4, I start getting confused. But yeah, I'm still a Yamaha guy. So let me ask you this: what advice would you give to young musicians who are trying to get up? You know, you've did the You Deserve It album with J.J. Harrison. You've been a part of some big projects. What advice would you give to young musicians?
I mean, as I could piggyback off of what Reverend Willie B. Allen was talking about, pretty much like be yourself. Don't try to be like the next guy. Like if you have a passion if you have a passion for something, like let it be used through you. Like don't try to be like the next guy just because this person is doing this. Wait your turn. I could always say wait your turn because, you know, there's a lot of young musicians out here who look up, but they don't see the opposite side of what goes on in the full-time musician's life, like the cons and stuff. So all they see is the pros, like we're on albums, we're doing this, we're touring, but they don't know what's going on behind the scenes, like, you know, when you're missing your family, stuff like that. So I could definitely just tell young musicians, just be yourself, wait your turn, and stay humble and keep God first in everything you do.
Hey, that's awesome advice. My father, if it wasn't for my father keeping me humble, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah, humble.
I would not be where I'm at. My
humble
father
is the way to go.
Told me, I don't care how big you get, you know, be humble and stay low to the ground, and God will do the exalting in His time. So that's great. So let's just shift gears a little bit. You a sports fan?
Of course.
Talk close to the mic. You're a sports fan, huh?
I'm a sports fan.
What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport right now would have to be football.
Really.
Not just NFL, but like college football. Like I'm excited for the game tonight, Alabama and Georgia.
So who's gonna win?
Georgia,
Georgia's
of course. I want to see Georgia. I want to see Georgia take it all because it'll be something nice for them because they're in their hometown, and you know, it's the first championship game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Is that right?
Yeah. So.
Who is your favorite NFL team?
My favorite NFL team is the one and only Philadelphia Eagles.
Right. You said you love Jesus, right?
Jesus loves the Eagles because we're in the playoffs. He made a way.
Is that right?
Travis Green says you made a way.
What do you think about their possibilities now that their starting quarterback is injured?
Our starting quarterback is injured, man. We are playing the Atlanta Falcons this week. I'm actually going to try to go to the game.
Is that right?
Yes, it's in Philly. So, but with the injured quarterback, you know, it definitely takes a shift. Mm-hmm. But you still got to believe in the rest of the team because, you know, I mean, our quarterback now, Nick Foles, he's not the best, but when it's time to show up, he can actually get the job done, and he has proven it time and time again.
Right.
Just not this season.
Right.
But,
well, man, thank you for coming on. I'm gonna ask you to come back after a while because I wanna offer some production tips to people who are, you know, currently trying to make a go at of it, especially in their house.
Yeah.
And I would like for you to come back and share with us, you know, having a little segment, a little Andre Jones segment. So, you know, I just thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for
God bless
you. God bless you too.
Y'all, the one and only Andre Jones. We're now going to watch a video by Pastor Antoine Hutchins, who is the pastor of Christian Unity Baptist Church in Waldorf, Maryland. This is titled, He'll Make It All Right.
What was that?
Enjoy.
What was that? I remember that recording.
We having problems? Looks like we're having problems with that file. Well, this is live TV. It happens like that sometimes. Yeah. So, hey, we'll just pick it up from where we left off. Let's talk production. Let's talk production. Who are some of your favorite producers?
Right now, my favorite producers of course, gospel producers. Right now, my favorite of all time, well, not all time, but, you know, my biggest influence would have to be the one and only Mike Burrell.
Oh, he's awesome.
JDI, all that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Roman Hutchins, him, Jason White, Justin Savage is one of my favorites as well. You know, he produced Anthony
Justin,
Brown.
yeah.
He's just talented. You know?
I remember Justin back in the Baltimore days when he was playing for, when he was MDing Jonathan Nelson's products. Mm-hmm. And in fact, back in that day, Jonathan Nelson and I had the same manager. So I was interacting with him, you know, a lot in that time. He was just getting started. He was a school teacher. And that Fab Five they had down there is awesome. With Mike Reed Jr., Kenny
Shelton. Kenny Shelton is another one of my favorite producers.
Oh my God, he's awesome.
Kenny is definitely
he is a wonder on that organ. And you know, and I just saw him not too long ago in Baltimore. He had just won a DMV award that they had in Baltimore. He got a production group, and it was just
music.
Yeah, it was just a pleasure to see him. Also, Adam on the bass.
Adam,
That whole team is awesome. And Mike Reed Jr. played my first recording. I mean, I shouldn't say it that way. He and I played his first recording together with his father, Mike Reed Sr. It was the Ark of Safety Christian Church.
Wow.
Mike was 12 years old, and I MD'd the recording. He played the drums, and he was hollering, "Hey man, come on, do that kind of stuff." Sound like Mickey Mouse. But who Mike is now? I mean, he is just.
Yeah, man, he's a phenomenal drummer, man.
He is phenomenal.
He's out with Rihanna right now.
Yeah. I mean,
he's really doing a lot of things.
He's major,
and he's easy to talk to.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to have him here at the next fellowship that we have because he is a success story out of this area, and he has gone through so much as a young man. I've been friends with him for a long time and have mentored him in some way. And just watching him matriculate through all of this, and he's going through to be the success that he is now, is just phenomenal. And that whole band, that whole Baltimore crew. So let's talk production. You just did the live recording with Jimmy Russell.
Yes.
And Jimmy, I know you're watching. Congratulations to you. We all love you. If anybody in DMV, if anybody in the DMV area does not love Jimmy Russell, then they don't love Jesus. Because Jimmy ain't done nothing wrong to nobody. If he has, he's definitely apologized for it. But he ain't done wrong with nobody. And what was that process like, MDing his recording and just MDing a recording, period?
Well, MDing a live recording is easier said than done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. So, first thing is, MDing a recording is when you have to get the unit together. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely like, I was the MD for like the music portion, but Van Sean definitely put the band together. Well, Jimmy technically did, because Jimmy wanted who he wanted.
Right.
He got who he wanted. So.
Yeah, Jimmy's gonna win now.
So putting the band together and like having 6 different elements who play 6 different sounds,
Right.
Trying to put that together. So, I made little reference tracks or whatever so we could have like template to listen to. When it came to rehearsals, y'all know about the long rehearsal process for a recording. So
right.
We did late night rehearsals.
Right.
So we would be in there from like 10 to 3, maybe like 10 to 4 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So like it would be late night rehearsals and like just trying to gel, just trying to lock everything together. Like the music process was not really difficult. It was pretty much easy because I know what Jimmy wanted. Like even still, like even after we rehearsed, Jimmy would come in and try to, that's what artists do. They come in and make
absolutely,
changes.
Yeah, we do that.
Sometimes it's a headache, but when it's over, it was all worth it. So that's definitely a process. So it's definitely a long process. So like that's what I tell y'all. Y'all don't see that side of stuff when you want to do this live recording and you want to be on this record. Same thing with JJ's record. Like we actually rehearsed for a whole week up to that, and like. We had one rehearsal with the singers, and that was the day pretty much up before the recording. It's like a sound check situation. And, like, even still, like, changes happen. Like, you deserve it. You deserve it. What people don't know, like, I'm not going to say it wasn't supposed to be recorded, but it was just a filler for the record because it was supposed to be a 15-year reunion record and just with all the hits on it.
Right.
So he just decided to add that song to it. And
man.
It took off.
Hey, You Deserve It is a monster hit. And I've heard stories after stories. When I did I Love the Lord, I just recorded it. I just did a live video. I had no intention of re-releasing that song. And I had did the Songs from the Storm album, and I said, something is missing on this album. And I went back and grabbed that song from 5 years ago. That was actually a recording done 5 years ago that my man Brad Bearwall recorded and mixed and mastered. Big shout out to Brad. Brad is a great guy who has served a lot of DMV. And I'm hoping to have him on this show as well if I can pull him out of that studio. But because Brad has a story to tell, we want to hear it.
Brad is great.
Yeah, Brad is awesome. Do we have that last video by Robert Person? A few of my favorite things. I'd like to pull that up before we go to our last guest. But I want to ask you one last question. Social life.
Social life.
You as a musician, as a producer, as a person who's traveled to Italy, do you have time for social life?
Yes, I actually do have time for social life.
That's good.
Like music is a 24/7 thing, but you still gotta have a life.
Amen.
You still gotta have a
Amen.
life. Like spend time. Have a girlfriend. I'm blessed to have a girlfriend right now, and like have friends and hang out with friends and stuff like that. You still gotta be able to do that. You still gotta balance the two.
Amen.
And that's what a lot of people fail to do.
Well, man, thank you for spending the extra time. I forgive you for having the Eagles jacket on. You could have on a Wizards jacket or something like that. But
we on the winning side.
For the first time, since you've been born, yeah, absolutely.
For more information on how to become a guest on Real Talk with Phillip Carter, or for general inquiries, please email us at realtalkwithphillipcarter@yahoo.com. Tune in next Monday for another edition of Real Talk with Phillip Carter.